that's never gonna happen, or just people doubting the whole plan. And then when I made it, it was like, damn, you was the last one thought we was gonna make it. Out of all the guys, like I had 5 dudes that was top players in the country. I graduated. My 4 best friends were like #1 receiver in the country, #1 cornerback on the West Coast, top running back in the country, like, top 15, top 50 players in the country, and it was me. So, having them, their success absolutely drove me, but just the opportunity to show everybody where I'm from, like, y'all got me mixed up, y'all got our family mixed up, like, y'all not us, and it's a reason y'all not us.
All right, and we're back. I got my man TJ Ward here. It's LaVar Arrington, and welcome to another, you know what it is, an exciting edition of Up On Game Presents That's My Mama. It's the going down version of it from Coming to America. Nah, I'm joking, guys. This is Up On Game Conversations with a Legend, and I got my man TJ Ward here, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Appreciate you having me.
And D,
I'm
how you
feeling
feeling,
great,
man? How's life?
Feeling great. Great seeing you again, man. Always
Indeed.
good to be in your presence.
Indeed, same. So let's jump to it. From San Francisco, played at the legendary school where everybody talks about, De La Salle. Had this amazing career as a strong safety, 2-time All-Pro, Super Bowl champ, just a ton of accomplishments. But this show is not about talking about so much the on-field. It's about everything that has led up to how the on-field became the on-field, as to how the person developed and what that looks like now in your life and what you do these days. So obviously your upbringing, let's start there. How did football come about for you? You know, I had an opportunity to have some contact with your pops at a certain point, and seems like it's just a humble family, humble setup, and but hard nosed at the same time. Just give me a little bit about what your background is. Give everybody the background.
That's honestly a great description. I've never heard that. Hungry, hard and humble. It's definitely passed through my pops. He gets it from his brothers and his mom, but just instilling that work ethic. But at the same time, with success, being able to handle it humbly, like you said, being able to, check yourself and know that there's a lot of work to be done and you can get better, but at the same time, um, giving back to those come behind you and being, humble about it, and not arrogant. So I think those work hand in hand, because if you are able to have that work ethic, then there's a certain level of humbleness that comes with it.
When looking at, I'm sure a lot of people saw the movie when the game when the game stands tall, I
Yeah, when
believe
the
it's
game
called.
stands tall, yeah, the book, and then they made a movie.
The I mean, how what where did you fall into all of that? Like, I didn't even know Frisco was like that. I'm from the East Coast,
Hmm.
so maybe it's the ignorance. I mean, you got to think that everywhere has everywhere, like some places like that. But where did you fit into all of that? Did you fit into that scenario where it could have gone either way, or did you come from the burbs? Was you urban? What was your setup leading up to you getting to De La Salle?
I got a taste of both. I was, born and raised in Bayview, Hunters Point, in the heart of, the Bayview district in San Francisco, the shipyards, and a lot of, a lot of activity that happens in most of our urban communities. Um, and then my dad was able to get us to the suburbs when I was about 9 or 10, and I got to see that side of society and learn to live on that side. So I've actually had a mix of both worlds, and I think that's helped me tremendously. Just being able to relate to all kinds of people, and being empathetic to both sides of the fence. Like, I know everything that comes with this side. I know everything that comes with that side. And, even though I may have not lived completely on both sides, but, I've got, a lot of experience on both sides of the fence. And I think that helps me to relate with a lot of people.
Yeah, I could dig it. I would probably say that's a lot of how I would explain, how I came up. Um, your game is much like how my game was. It was no nonsense. You tried to take dudes' heads off. Where did that mentality come from?
It first came with my pops again. He was that type of player growing up. At least that's what I hear from like all his peers. And he was a hard hitter, hard nose, no nonsense, knock you out type player. And
Mm-hmm.
hearing that from such a young age from people that grew up with him is like, okay, then that's obviously what I'm supposed to be, right?
Uh-huh.
So,
Right.
I took that. It didn't come right away. My first 2 years of football, I was out there getting hit. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
hitting, doing much hitting, but it came fast. And once I, developed it, I just I tried to harness it, like watching players like you and Mike Doss and
Mm-hmm.
Steve Atwater, like any
Mm-hmm.
player that played with that type of mentality, I was watching them. And, it just helped me develop and transition into, that aggressive, like try to hurt somebody type
Yeah.
player.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and I
Play for
think
keeps.
exactly,
Yeah.
it's either you or me type mentality. And that just helped me be successful. Like I wasn't taking nothing from nobody, like nobody. And, you know, you could tell, I could tell I carried that, kind of reputation around the league when I came
Mm-hmm.
into the games. You know how it is. It's like
Yes.
you step on that field, it's like, all right, it's him,
They're
and
him.
him.
Right.
And you better tell your teammates about me too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
No doubt. No doubt. And that's how it's supposed to be. If you're doing it the right way, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. So, how does that, because here's the thing, when you play the style and the brand of football that we played, it's sometimes difficult to separate the person from the player. And so a lot of times we're judged based off of what they see on the football field. And sometimes you don't get a fair opportunity to be exactly who you are. Like I'm pretty low key. I'm laid back. There's the saying, and I love this saying. I think it was Bruce Lee that said it. I'd rather be a warrior that gardens than a gardener that's trying to be a warrior. You know what I mean? Like I can mess around and mess, put some water on the grass and on the lawn, mow the lawn, but make no mistake about it, if it's wartime, I'm going to work. How do you navigate having such a reputation of being a physical, brand style of football player to the person? Because in a lot of ways you're very soft spoken and just a super, every time I've been around you, just been just a super respectful dude, and I don't get an ounce of arrogance from you. How does that play out for you and your interactions? Do people anticipate or expect you to be this different person than what you end up being?
They absolutely do. They absolutely do. They think that we're the same person that, we display through our actions on the field, which is, I guess for them, it makes sense, but, your actions, I guess, in a profession is completely different than what you do when, you are being completely you. All my life I've been regarded, or, a real low key person, real quiet, um, shy, I guess you would want to say. Growing up, I guess people would for sure say I was a shy person. So I guess it's an outlet. So when I get on that field, I don't have to be shy. I don't have to be arrogant. I don't have, everything that people kind of expect for you from your personality by why you from how you play is like the exact opposite of who you are, but it's an outlet. It's like I don't have to be arrogant in person. I could be arrogant on the field. I don't have to be aggressive in person. I'm aggressive on the field. Like I don't have to do this in person. That's not who I am. But on the field, That's exactly who
Exactly
I
who
am.
I am. Right.
That's exactly who I am.
How do you apply that in your regular life? Like, does that play a part in any way in how you approach different things, whether it be business, whether it be, friendships, whatever, relationships? How is the outlet played a part? The outlet of football played a part in how you do things off the field.
It was a lot, I wouldn't say easier, but now I'm managing it because I don't have the outlet of football. So I'm definitely managing it and learning how to control certain aspects of, especially reactions. It's you got to sit back first, and think about, not even if it's a good reaction. It doesn't have to be a negative reaction. Before you react anyway, happy, positive, sad, just take a step back and try to evaluate. It's hard a lot of times, but I found that helps me a lot because just that 30 seconds, my reaction is completely different than my immediate,
You have any
reaction would have
examples?
been.
Any stories?
Uh, well, a lot of mainly is my son, man. Learning to be patient with him. Um, that is the motivation for me really to do it. Like people is great, it's cool, but the motivation for me is my son just being more temperamental and just being a better dad and father for him to make sure he doesn't grow up with the anger or or the temper that the slight temper that I had. So
Mm-hmm.
that's my motivation for
That's
sure.
the motivation. Talk to me about post life, post football life. How have you managed? Like, what has been? You talked about golf earlier before we got going into the interview and how you enjoy that. I hate golf because first off, I'm no good at it. Second of all, I'm more I'm more right to the point. Like, I want to go straight to it. Like, if I could hit the ball the way I hit people, I probably like golf. But I don't hit the ball the way that I hit people, so it bothers me. So I'll drive you around. I'll jump in the cart. I drive around with you. I have a beer with you or something like that, a soda. But I don't like it. You seem to like it. What is there? Is there? Are you in the business? Like, is it just golf? You had a great career. You seem to be one of the bright dudes. You probably managed your money well. What does TJ Ward do now? Like, how do you move now? What's life like?
Yeah, golfing is my outlet now, and I picked it up first when I was playing just through my nonprofit. It was a great way to,
Tell us about the
bring people.
nonprofit
Oh, the
real quick.
nonprofit, it used to be called the TJ Ward Foundation back when I was playing, but now it's called the Ward Boy Project. Um, and it's centered in the Bay Area in California. Me and my family ran, nonprofit. My brother Teron Ward played
Who was a
for the
running back?
Falcons. Yeah, played
Yep.
running back. So between me and him, my dad, and a couple of our teammates, we're helping the Bay Area youth have different programs, camps. COVID knocked us down for about 2 years just with, public events and stuff, but we're going back and getting things running this summer. So look out for everything we have with the Ward Boy Project coming up.
Okay.
Um,
Is there an org? Is there a .org they could go to?
it's at wardboyproject.com.
Okay. Okay. Make sure y'all check out
Yeah,
Ward Boy. The Ward
yeah.
The Ward Boys,
Ward Boy Project.
the
Yep.
Ward
No
Boy
S. Ward
Project,
Boy Project.
the
And
Ward
that's on
Boy.
Instagram
All
too.
right. Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. No
And
S.
yeah, that and my agency. Really what I was building during COVID, I was sitting down trying to figure out, where I wanted to go with this post career life. And no doubt I wanted to be around the game. Like there was no way I was doing anything that wasn't around football, whether it's talking about football, coaching football, man, something, I just love the sport too much to, disconnect from it. Um, so the next thing I was like, I really want to make the experience, you know, make it easier for these players coming up, make it more relatable to how we really, feel in this business, how we go about our daily lives. And there's no one that has done everything that you've done as a player that can help you and really understand what you're going through, not only from a player standpoint, but a business standpoint and a personal standpoint than somebody that's walked every step you walked. And that's why I'm here and that's why I'm doing this. So I started Player Above Sports Group. This is our first year. We have 7 eligible draft players this year. So it kind of it's been rolling fast. We honestly didn't expect to have this big of a class because we were really working towards next year to get our foundation right and running, but it hit simultaneously, and I think we're doing a great job right now.
All right, talk to me about a little bit more about it. The whole NIL situation has come about, name, image, likeness. How do you feel about that? And how does that play? You just mentioned nobody understands it the way that we do. So how does that play a role in your approach to dealing with these guys? Because I ultimately say anyone who goes into the business of where they become, you know, representation of these young men that have done what we've done, that means you care. Like I always have interpreted as we care about these kids. So from your standpoint, how does that work for you? What's your approach to, how the whole NIL situation is here now and starting your agency?
Um, it's great. It's great for the players, for sure. It's just knowing the rules first and foremost, because like there's a lot of fine lines and holes that you didn't have to worry about before. But now that you're getting the NIL access as an agency, now you're teetering the line of okay, can I talk to them? Can I not talk to them? On what level can I talk to them? It's a lot of that goes into it. But other than that, it's just about providing opportunities for these kids, man. Like there's a lot of opportunities for guys to, use their likeness and even other players to help their teammates use their likeness and help them. I just seen the kid Caleb Williams from USC had a deal. He gave all his teammates headphones. That's something, that I wasn't really, that's something you do see in the league a lot, right? But when I see it on TV, I was like, oh, that's dope. Like he really has the opportunity to affect his teammates and affect, more than himself. And that's what it is. It's providing these kids at a younger age to not only help themselves, but help their friends, help their families. And it's beautiful. But you just got to, like you said, coming in as a mentor, as somebody they're looking to help them maneuver, these assets and what they're getting. That's the trust levels, and that's where you come in or we come in to make sure, they're moving precisely in the right way. They're not blowing their money. They're getting this cash or getting these items, and they're doing the right things with them.
You got an evil eye on your hand, on
Oh,
your
no.
on your
Oh, this is
neck.
a Hamza. Hamza.
Yeah, yeah. The himsa. It's the
You
evil
say
eye.
it's the evil. You think it's the
It
third eye,
protect.
the
Yeah,
protector?
it's the third. You see the,
Yeah,
or is it the eye on
yeah.
there? It's in there.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Talk to me about it. What? Give me the
Well, like you
meaning of it.
said, it's my protector.
Yeah.
It's the Hamza. I wear it every day, and it represents the hand of God, and I keep it around my neck and over my heart just to, make sure he's there. I'm not tied to any direct religion into it, like the Jewish or
Love is the
Hindu.
religion.
Exactly. That's what I'm about: love, protection, and blessings. So, um, faith.
Uh
That's
huh.
why I rock it.
Okay. Now I got a couple more questions, and I'm gonna let you go. And I appreciate you coming on, giving us some time. Do you have a legendary defining moment? It's conversations with a legend. Do you have a legendary defining moment? Doesn't have to even be within the game of what we played. It could be anything. It could be. I recall coloring a drawing a home for my mom at 8 years old,
Hmm.
and I gave it to my mom, and I said, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna buy you this one day. I'm gonna buy you this house. That was a moment for me, and I started searching. It forced me at 8 years old. I started thinking about what would I be able to do? What could I do where I'd be able to provide this gift of appreciation to my mom, and that was a moment for me. Do you have a legendary moment that kind of shaped and defined your path and going through life the way that you have and getting to where you've gotten, accomplishing what you've accomplished?
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah. Does
Um,
anything some it's probably more than one, but what
yeah.
you know,
Well, for
does one
me,
jump out at you?
one that jumps out at me immediately because it was the biggest hardship I had had it um pretty much in life up to that point. When I my senior year, I busted my knee up, third game of the year. And I was my first year starting my senior year. I was having a phenomenal season. I had like 3 picks in 3 games. I'm banking on scholarship this year. I'll go knee to knee with a guy, fourth game of the season, and early in the game, and fractured my patella. So at that time, laying on the turf, I didn't know what happened. I just knew I couldn't move my leg. Um, so I went to the hospital. Got surgery, recovered from that, and not. I wouldn't say it's a divine moment because I can't say that I honestly thought I wasn't going to play again at that point, but it was more that people thought that it was over for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he ain't going to get to college. Like, it's pretty much over. Like, so, and I remember my dad telling people what we were going to do. Like, oh, we're going to do this. We're going to walk in at Oregon. We're going to earn a scholarship. We're going to do this. And I just remember, like, not like wanting to let him down, like, by telling people that. So that changed. I'm like, yo, he said it's going to happen. That's what I'm going to do. And then it just helped motivate me. Even when I got to college, had a couple more injuries while I was starting. And then that just drive from me hurting my knee just drove me all the way through college, even with my injuries. And then when I got to the league, um, I didn't have no injuries. I broke my thumb. I broke my foot. Was out 8 games, but other than that, I just remember people saying like, "Mr. Ward crazy," like like that's never gonna happen, or just people doubting the whole plan. And then when I made it, it was like, damn, you was the last one thought we was gonna make it out of all the guys. Like I had 5 dudes that was top players in the country. I graduated. My 4 best friends were like #1 receiver in the country, #1 cornerback on the West Coast, top running back in the country, like, top 15, top 50 players in the country. And it was me. So, having them, their success absolutely drove me, but just the opportunity to show everybody where I'm from, like, y'all got me mixed up. Y'all got our family mixed up. Like, y'all not us. And it's a reason y'all not us. So that was probably one of the biggest defining moments
Defining
for me, for
moments.
sure.
I could dig. All right, here's my last question for you. When it's all said and done, and your work here is finished, and somebody's standing over top of you, and they're delivering what it is that your life represented, what is TJ Ward's legacy? What do you want people to remember you by or for?
Um, oh, I think
It's a good one, man,
providing.
because
I think it's providing.
okay,
Whether
providing.
it's like whether it's love, opportunity, help. I just want to whatever I could do for somebody. I tried to do. I provided that whatever I could.
Man, and that's like short to the point.
Yeah,
It's kind. I mean, but that's
pretty much.
kind of that's the person you are. It's to the point.
Yeah,
Like
man,
no
I'm
no
definitely to
like
the point. I'm straight
right
at it. Like even
straight to
people
it
that meet me in person, like, because like you said, I'm reserved, stand backish, and some people may take that as mean or whatever, but
or arrogant.
I'm
They always
chilling.
because of the way
Yeah,
we play, they think we arrogant. You know what I
or the
mean?
look. I got that mean look. I might just be like, dude, I thought you was mean. You cool as hell. Like, yeah, I know, I'm cool as hell. You,
Right. You just had to take a
you just
moment
had
in
to come,
time to
yeah,
be.
come
Yeah.
say
Yeah.
what's up. But
Right. A provider. I like it, man. I like it. All right. So we got the Ward boy, the Ward
Boy Project.
Boy Project. All right, man, make sure I get it right. The Ward Boy Project. We got the agency, which is
Player Above Sports.
There it
Inside.
is.
Yep,
There it
that's the
is.
logo.
Player Above Sport. I love it. Man, I wish you all the luck, man, and continued success. I have been a fan of your game. I followed your game. Like I said, anybody that is part of that mammal gang, I had a different level of respect and admiration for. You played the game the way that I call this the last of the Mohicans.
Yes,
Because it doesn't exist like that too much anymore. But
last of a dying breed for sure.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. I continue to support you. I'll make sure that we circle up and get some updates on your prospects and your guys that you're representing. Always want to use this as a platform for people to understand that we have voices, we have things that we accomplish and we do in our lives, and it isn't just playing football. There's more to it than just playing the game itself. So couldn't be prouder that you're representing athletes and giving them guidance, because that's ultimately what guys need. It's always that if I had somebody like you when I was coming through, things might have been a little bit different for me. You know what I mean?
And you know what? And I asked myself, I said that to myself, like, if I had somebody like you, and that's exactly why I'm doing it, because I wish I had somebody like myself. So yeah, there it is.
There it is. That's TJ Ward, y'all. I mean, make sure you check out his nonprofit. Get involved. If you can't get involved financially, pass it on to a friend. Make sure you support giving back to the community. That's always important, and that's a necessary thing to do. And check out his agency. Check out his players. Man, excited to see it. So it's been another edition of Up On Game Presents Conversations with a Legend. Again, appreciate having TJ Ward, Super Bowl All-Pro TJ Ward on the show.
Appreciate it.
Till next time, y'all.